back to my channel. So first of all, I would just like to apologize for the really long hiatus. So as you know, I was in the UK for 2 months, and so I've recently just gotten back and I'm still grappling with, the jet lag and the crazy amount of work at school. So it's like I literally landed and I went straight to uni, to sort of make sure that I didn't lose any days, and as well as trying to get the most of my stay in the UK. But I think it's mainly because I haven't been able to deal with the separation very well. So this is my first long distance relationship, and I'm still, trying to grapple with the idea that you have to modify your interactions, because you can't just physically, call up somebody and say, hey, let's go for a date. So it's been really difficult, and so I thought today I'd talk about something that not many people talk about. So, I know that there are many videos out there that talk about how to survive long distance relationships, from making constant calls, setting up dates, and all that. But today I'd like to talk about how to prepare for that separation. The things that you do before you actually leave the country, and as soon as you come back. So here are 3 things that I feel has helped me greatly. And so maybe these are some things that you do as well, but if not, maybe they could be of great use to you as well. So the first one is visual memories. Right. So in this day and age of technology, it's almost a crime if you don't, take photos or videos, sort of, capture those memories that you've had together. So sometimes it does seem like a chore, to have to pose for the camera or have to plan what to say on a video. And while you can capture the informal little bits and pieces, there are times when you feel like, hey, I'm not going to waste any of this valuable time that I have together because it's already so short. So why are we doing this? Why are we wasting time taking a video? But trust me, it is very important. And when you're back and when you're alone, reviewing these videos really give you a sense that you guys are together again. So previously, you might have seen a video of me and James, me teaching James Singlish, but here are a few more clips of us together that I have actually posted on Instagram. So if you'd like to watch the full ones, you can just, follow me on Instagram. The link is below.
She speaks very fancy, very polite, and then as soon as she walks through the door, oh my god, la!
Oh my, is it not because so you can pay for flights?
Oh, so I can pay the flight. Let's see. Testing.
These videos sort of just help me recreate that moment. I think the thing about videos is that you get to see how your partner is looking at you, because when you're doing a regular video call, you're really just looking at the person or at yourself, but not really seeing the dynamics. And what I've noticed a lot when watching videos is how James looks at me and how I sometimes look at him as well. And that is what really helps me sort of feel like, oh, this is all worth it. Now, the second one is leaving behind scents. Now, I know this sounds weird, and well, if you're comfortable leaving your dirty laundry, by all means, go ahead. But we've sort of developed a system that doesn't involve any soiled clothes. So here we have 2 bottles of perfume. So this is James's perfume. It's Armani Code, and mine is, I believe, it's Mont Blanc. So what he did was to give me a bottle that he has finished. Right. So so this bottle is finished, and it really just leaves like the scent behind, because I think there might be like a few drops left. This is the best way to keep a person's scent, especially if you live in a tropical country with high humidity like Singapore. Well, him on the other hand, I just needed to spray maybe, I don't know, like 10 sprays of this on a small hanky, and he has it next to his bed, and the smell has not left that hanky for like months. So that was what we did the last time, and so it worked for him because the UK is very humid, so the smell sort of stays. So the thing about smells is that it has been proven that smells do trigger memories, right? Because I'm sure, you know, sometimes you're just walking down the street and someone's perfume just reminds you of some ex, or like someone smoking and it like reminds you of your dad or something. So I think it really helps when you can sort of smell your partner although he or she isn't there. And at least, you know, you're engaging a bit more than just your eyes and your ears, because, you know, in calls or video calls, and also just engaging your olfactory senses a little bit more. And, you know, sometimes unless technology catches up and you can physically transport someone across some teleportation device, I think, you know, this is just one way that I've been coping. So the last and I think the most important tip is to buy your tickets for your next trip. So I know that this can be a bit difficult for those of you who are maybe studying, or you might not have that much cash. You have to save up for your next trip. But for those of you who can afford it, it is really an important and useful psychological tool to sort of, you know, make you feel reassured and concretize your relationship as well. So for me, it helps, you know, provide a timeline. So I know he's coming in June, but that's a few more months later, and then it becomes weeks and days. And so you have something to look forward to. And, you know, the thing about flights as well is that the earlier you book, the cheaper it is. So at the moment, it is about £450. So that's pretty good to fly from the UK to Singapore. And direct flight as well. So this is £200 less than when I had flown to the UK in November, because it was like we only booked it in September, I think. So yeah, so the price had gone up. And so if you are a bit price conscious, you know, this is a way for you to probably get over it. It might incur you a bit of debt at the start, but at least you can save up to pay for it rather than save up to pay more for it at the end. Well, I don't know if that makes sense. And I also think that the gap between the time you left and the time you meet the next time shouldn't be more than 6 months. I've heard this a lot, you know, in other videos, and I think 6 months is really a good sort of time frame. So me and James, I think every time we meet, it's between 4 to 5 months. I wouldn't really recommend anything longer than that, because yes, well, you miss a person, but you know, the longer time passes, the more muted that feeling becomes. And this is something that I sort of experienced myself, because my dad, he was working offshore on a ship, and sometimes he'd be gone for 6 months, but sometimes he'd be gone for a year. And because you're so used to functioning without somebody, you kind of just forget them. But you know they're at the back of your head, but you know, I mean, humans are social creatures, and so we need that constant contact, I think. Yeah, and sometimes even, you know, sense of smell, hearing, and speaking, you know, isn't enough. So there you go, the 3 things that has sort of helped me, you know, to stabilize the feeling of missing, and also made me, you know, reassured and help me look forward to the future. So if you've got any other ways that you think could help with coping with a long distance relationship, do just drop a comment at the bottom, or you can PM me. And so with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye!